Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and look who I have with me today, Gerald from TarotStache.
Hi, thank you for having me and inviting me back. I'm
It's so
happy to be
nice
here.
to, yes, it's so nice to have you here, and it's wonderful to do our our mediumship show. And right now, that's what we call it. But we're going to be doing mediumship readings for everybody today, and we just ask that if you would kindly add if you would like a reading from a loved one, kindly let us know the name and the relation of your loved one, and we will assume that they are already on the other side. So that's what
Mhm.
we are going to do today. I don't think I have I'm looking here. Let me just edit this one.
Sure. Hi, Jennifer
Um,
B. and Cody Mitchell and CJ. Thank you for being here.
all right.
Sophie, good to see you.
All right. Messages from loved ones. Please provide name and relation. Use caps and emojis, and questions are chosen at random. So, Gerald, I we were just talking a little bit backstage, and you just completed an amazing experience. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about it while everybody's filing in?
Yes, I facilitated a color confidence workshop for quilters. It was a 3-day immersive exploration about color and different color schemes and how it applies to quilting and how people can. Um, Everybody has colors that they like to work with, and this helped them understand why they like those and why those colors work. So it was so much fun, so much fun. People were willing to explore and they were courageous. It was so invigorating. It was so invigorating. So
That sounds like a lot of fun. And I just read an article about who are people that, or a little bit more about the types of people that would come to see a psychic or a medium, and I what they derive from their analytical their polling is that a lot of people are creative that see.
mhm.
Mhm. And it takes that imagination, it takes that openness or that open-mindedness, and it takes that willingness to understand that there is more to the others to this world than just what meets the eye. And I thought that was really interesting. And a lot of people that have life changes or
Yes.
emotional changes that have occurred in their life. Um, but I thought that was interesting. And I'm like, you know what? A lot of the people that are on the chat are creative.
Yes, they are. And I agree with you. I think there's a similarity to creative, psychic, and empathic people for the idea of being artists. And I think it's part of it is the way we look at the world. Yeah, my wife is hardcore into crocheting. Sounds like something she would like. Yeah, I mean, and it was so much fun, and it was so invigorating. It was something that I didn't realize that I needed, and it was wonderful. So thank you for asking about it. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, very, very inspiring. And it's a beautiful uh, opportunity and experience. So thanks for sharing. I love the energy, the enthusiasm and the energy that you have. That when we go outside of our comfort zone, so to speak, and we experience something new with a different group of people, it changes and enhances our own energy. It mirrors back to us something that we may not have learned from being in front of the same people. Not you guys, of course, but I'm just saying when I go on my psychic fairs and I meet new people and I do reading the room, the things that I learn in just that short amount of time are exponential. And it's really, and it's going outside of my comfort zone. It's putting myself into a position of learning is really what it
Mhm.
is.
Yes.
And
Well,
it's,
yeah, yeah. It's so interesting because we all process information differently. And one of the great benefits for me is I spent 20 plus years of my career doing training and development. And I had forgotten how much I enjoyed it and how much it really benefits me sharing that space. But boy, people were helping each other, and by the questions they asked and the thoughtful answers, and it was a safe place. No, no stupid questions, and so invigorating. So invigorating. So
hi, Christine Thomas. Nice to see you. Joyful Journey, Kim B, Heather Caldwell, Nancy Smith. So nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Amanda Carroll, Jennifer D, uh, and Garnett, Amanda, Kim, Cody, Linnea. Everybody's here. Sophie, Melinda. Akila B is here. You know, Akila is going to be on my channel. She's doing her debut uh, YouTube appearance. Yes, she is. She is a long time uh, I guess a classmate, and she's been training and taking classes and really enhancing and honing her skills. And she has agreed. I've been bugging her, and I check back with her every couple of months, and she's ready to come out. And we're going to be doing a show on Sunday, and I'm just so proud of her.
that's beautiful. And Akila, you're going to be spoiled because Gina's an amazing host. She's really gonna make you feel comfortable. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yep. But just laid back, easy going, no pressure, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the first one, and maybe we can do a tag team so that we can both work on this together.
of course.
And our primary goal here is for mediumship. So, and I did actually post it. I pinned it to the top of the YouTube page. Just let us know the name and the relation of your loved one, and we'll go from there. So
Mhm.
I see Jen D, and she says she has a lot of caps and emojis. If everybody sees that, and it really just jumped out at me. And she says, "A message from Corvin, my son's father. My son's birthday is tomorrow, and he'll be a new father in November." Wow, wow. So Corvin is on the other side, and this is your son's father. What a beautiful thing. Thank you, Jen D.
Yeah, and so your son's going to be a father in November. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, um,
So I feel him coming through with curly hair, or a wavy hair, I should say. But he's coming through with saying that you are such a good mother, that you're a wonderful mother, and that he's very he's happy that his son has you for a mother, is what he's coming through with. And I feel him, he was like sort of afar, and sort of saying, "Tell her she's a great mother." As he was coming in, this was like what was leading. It was this message of, you should be proud of yourself, that you raised a beautiful soul, and that it is because of you that he is a success and becoming a father, um, himself. And it's such a beautiful way of keeping the family lineage going. He's your son's father is very excited about the upcoming birth, and he's also saying that um, he has met the soul of the child that is coming in. He's also showing me a husky, and I'm not good with breeds. It's sort of like a dog with those sort of like crystal eyes, crystal color eyes, black coloring and white underneath with sort of like white legs, not black and white, but like blackish and whitish, you know. But the ears are sticking up and it looks like a husky face. So it could be some other kind of a husky, or it may not be a full bred husky, but he looks like that. But this dog is over there, and with your son's father coming through, this dog is sort of like laying, not has his head up, but sort of like laying back and enjoying himself. So I'm not sure if this dog is known to your son, your son's father, but he is with him as well.
She said he owned a lot of pit bulls.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, may I jump in for a bit?
Yes.
Because I am, what I'm seeing with Corvin is he's got busy hands. His hands are doing something. This is, and I keep seeing this fidgeting. I'm not exactly sure what that's about. I don't know if he's like, if it's like trying to quit smoking or something like that, or if he was always trying to work with something. And he's thinking about, you know, he's thinking about the kid, his son, and he's hoping that he learns from his experiences, from Corvin's experiences. And he was very specific, his experiences, and not just the choices that weren't the best, but also the good times that were had. And being willing to lean in to do that and doing more of that. Again, this is the hands are really, really moving. So did we know how long ago he, but he is definitely, it feels like he is around his son watching, and maybe he's nervous until the baby's born. You know how it is. It was like, he was murdered when my son was 10. Okay. So he's missing a lot of that. And it feels very much like he wants to participate. I love the fact that you got that he met the baby. Maybe he's playing with the baby. I don't know, but this is a lovely little thing. It feels very happy.
It could be many things, and I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm just going to keep moving and see what else he wants to say. He said he's been watching over the both of you, and he's saying, and I hear it like this, but just so everybody knows, I'm hearing "Don't cry for me, Argentina," meaning that I feel like he lived a full life and he was doing what he loved, and if it was his last day or not, he would have done the same thing. Like he wouldn't have changed anything. In other words, like. And he just wants you to know that everything happens for a reason, and that he was really proud of what he was doing, and that he was living life to the fullest is what I feel. And I do feel like he was maybe taking a little more risks, but he's saying this is him trying to get ahead and trying to get uh, create success around in his life. Oh, she said he knew he knew he would die early, and he died in his early 30s. Wow. I'm just going to pop that up so that everybody can see that.
Yeah.
How about, are you getting anything else, Gerald?
I with the fact, I feel like we've read for Corvin before. It's almost like he's trying to, from where he is, help support and to influence opportunities to show up for both of you. He's not telling you what to do, but influencing and making things come within reach. So it's
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so she says he took a ton of risks and finally turned his life around when this happened. I think that, it was like, it's almost like unapologetic. Like he was happy and living life on his terms. And I don't think he would have changed anything.
Mm-mm. No,
But
because I'm glad he got it turned around before he left. It's sort of it's like he tied the bow on the package. Okay, done all that. Now I can do this. So, but yeah,
okay.
that's what I've gotten.
All right. Gerald, do you have somebody else in mind that you wanted to choose? And I know we'll probably have to. Nancy said she had to go, so I'm going to take Nancy off.
Sophie. I'm going to pop Sophie up. I lost my baby brother in 2005. Whenever I've had readings, he's never come through. Would love to know if he's okay. He passed a couple of hours after birth. His name is Alfie?
Alfie.
Alfie, sorry. Okay.
So, Gerald, if you don't mind, I'm going to take this opportunity. You're very welcome, Jendi. He apologized to me 2 weeks before it happened, Jen said. Oh, wow. All right,
Wow.
I'll come back to that. Thank you very much, Jendi. We really appreciate all of the feedback. And Sophie, just say hi that you're here. But what I had this. I was on with Kevin Lewis
Oh,
Medium,
okay.
and we both had somebody come through about their son and their sister, and their sister came through, and she said she has the son there with her, but we couldn't get anything from the son himself. And then after, thank you, Sophie. After the reading continued, she said this her son only lived a few weeks or something. So and I thought, and I was second guessing myself after the show and sort of was in meditation trying to understand why I couldn't get any message from um, a baby even. I mean, because I can feel. And what my guides told me, and Gerald, I don't know if you can anticipate this, but he had reincarnated already.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, getting tingles. Mm-hmm.
and the personality hadn't developed, and so they could come right back in again. And I'm only trying to give you an opportunity or um, a scenario that might explain why no other readers might be able to pick up on Alfie. So but the soul who was your brother, your baby brother, Alfie, may have already been reincarnated. So I think I'm gonna try and get my pendulum to let me know. Is Alfie able to be communicated with on the other side? They're saying yes, because I haven't even tried yet. Is Alfie reincarnated in a new soul? No, not yet. Okay, so let's try. There goes that theory.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you got to explore it. I wrote down a couple of words. I wrote down start, stop, and then leapfrog. I don't know if that means anything for you, Sophie. It's this, yeah, that's weird. Um, but a beginning, moving forward, stopping. It's almost like pulling the plug on your computer when it won't restart. You just remove all of the energy around that. Sort of a leapfroggy thing. I'm getting chuckles because I'm trying to open up for Alfie, and it's almost like he's hiding around corners. And every time I get close, he bolts. It's almost like playing with a cat, and the cat he's just like going, nope, you can't see me. Nope, you can't see me. Nope, you can't see me. And it's just it's just the thing. It's just the playful energy that's about Alfie. So
I was also getting, if you don't mind, can I jump in?
yeah, please.
I was also getting that he's in a more of an energetic type of a energy, if that makes sense to you. It feels like it's a softening energy, and it feels more of like an angelic energy. So this energy is like a state of being, or it's not. I just don't feel him as being human kind of qualities or thoughts, or anything that he could connect to existing as a human, but I see his angelic, soft, energetic ball, or angelic uh, energy around him, and I feel like this is his essence. But when you said that leapfrog, it feels like he was playing games with her. That's
Mm-hmm.
as a child. And
Yes.
he's playing games with you, hide and seek. So I'm not sure, Sophie, if you had a imaginary friend when you were younger, this was your brother, your imaginary friend.
Ah. And by the way, timelines don't matter. So, Sophie, did you have an imaginary friend growing up? That's that's interesting. Yeah, I'm getting more giggles, playfulness, a lot of joy, a lot of movement. Did not. He passed when you were 9. But did you have an imaginary friend when you were younger? I'm seeing a very big, fluffy white cat is what keeps coming up. And Sophie didn't. Okay. I don't know. Hmm.
I see the soul is still being in the energetic state, um, and not really relating to human type of connections.
Sophie said we had a lot of cats, but not a white, fluffy one. Hmm.
Maybe he was playing with the cats because you said he was.
Could be if your cats ever chased things like most cats do that you couldn't see. So, I mean, his energy is very refreshing. It's very, yeah, the word refreshing and fun. I mean, people in, the angels or the energies that are around him like being with him. So,
Well, thank you very much for allowing us to give that a chance, give Alfie a chance, and see how his communication would come through for us. We appreciate you asking, Sophie, and all the best to you.
I'm curious, Sophie, if you're going to see a white cat sometime soon. So, just say hi. So,
Okay, I see Linnea is here. And Linnea, just say hi. And she says, messages from my daughter, Kira. I'm so sorry, Linnea. Your daughter's on the other side. And do you need to know how long they passed? How long ago they passed?
I don't.
You're welcome, Sophie. You're welcome. And thank you. We really appreciate the opportunity. So I feel your daughter wants to send you lots of love, and she wants to send you so much gratitude for protecting her. You were her protector. I don't, and I do feel as though she was independent, but I don't know to what extent that she was able to be independent because you needed to protect her. And she just wants to thank you, Mom. And she wants to let you know that even though I'm on the other side, doesn't mean that you stopped protecting me, that you did your job to the fullest, and that you did your job successfully. And she doesn't want you to take responsibility for her passing. And she wants you to know that you did everything that you possibly could, and that it is not it was never your responsibility as to how long it, I mean, when they're babies, it's our responsibility to protect them and keep them fed and clean and healthy, and but it's for her to extend her life, or for her not to be put in a situation where you know uh, that may cause her passing. She just wants you to know that that is not it was not your responsibility. That's not the kind of protection that it was. That was an angelic. Oh, geez, I got a big giant
Mm,
noise here. It was more of an angelic protection, or a divine protection that would have been needed in order to protect your daughter from passing. And she wants you to know not to feel um, responsible, or that you didn't do your job. She said you did do your job, and you did your job successfully. Just because I passed doesn't mean that you were not there protecting me. She wants to thank you for all of the protection, all of the love, all of the prayers, and all of the, like, nights up worrying, she's saying. She says that all this was something that love couldn't cure. She said, "You loved me more than any than more than expected," and she feels your love. She understands your love, and she wants you to know that she loves you right back. That's what she said.
mm. I was getting an image of someone with either pigtails or ponytail, with some blue dye in it. I don't know what that means. She was showing me a book that she really liked, that she either, she liked to read, or she kept taking me over to a bookshelf and pointing at a particular book. And so I don't know if she's also referencing cookies or a cookbook. And so, but, and she's also saying that she was she liked to go outside. She liked to get dirty and muddy. And some people might couldn't, I was like I heard she could be a bit of a tomboy, and she liked that. And I'm like, well, I'm not using the word tomboy. And she says, no, you need to use the word tomboy. Okay. So I don't know if, does this sound like Kira, Linnea? So it's but boy, she keeps taking me over to the bookshelves and referencing cookies or cookbooks. So I don't know if this is something that you did to make her feel better, or if it was one of your magic skills. You could make cookies that made everything better. So,
And she's also talking about the children. I don't know. She died. Oh,
there you
she
go. A lot
died
of guilt.
before birth. Lots of guilt. Sister was a bookworm. Ah,
There you
her
go.
sister was the bookworm.
Mm,
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And you did everything in your power. You loved her ferociously, and you did everything in your power to protect her. and she wants you to know it was divine. It was a divine protection that was needed. And she wanted you to know not to be, not to feel that responsibility. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Well, Kira is a beautiful soul, Linnea. And isn't that interesting that we're able to connect with her? I don't know. It is a learning experience here that you and I are choosing these.
Yes. I think it's interesting that her sister was a bookworm. Because it kept getting books, maybe. Yeah. Anyhow. Curious.
Well, was sister older? I don't know. Could she have reincarnated? Was her sister born after her?
It's a good question. Younger. Sister was younger.
Was Kira reincarnated? So her younger sister was born after you lost Kira. So was Kira's soul reincarnated into her younger sister? I'm not getting enough of a yes. I'm getting she may have been around her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, that's too quick. But interesting talking about stretching, learning, and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Oh, I always felt her and her sister had a big connection. Wow.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. So sorry for your loss, Linnea.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Yeah, and please try and let go of that guilt in any way that you can. This is what she wants you to know. There's no amount of love that could have changed her outcome, and it wasn't within your hands to change the scenario. Interesting. Hi, Gail. Hi, Jill. Okay, Gerald, did you want to choose the next one?
I was just looking at. Yeah, I keep getting flipped. I mean, GC Pre's question: did I meet my passed on pets on the astral plane while I'm asleep? Is there any way I can retain the memories? Do I get to meet my? I have a really short answer for this. Yes, you do. As just comes very clearly through. And part of what happens with that freeze is if you there's a lot of different ways to practice in remembering your dreams. And one of those that is a really nice one is to fall asleep with the expectation that you will remember the dreams when you wake up. It's like you can go to sleep and saying, I remember my dreams. I remember my dreams. I remember my dreams. The other key thing about that is what's the feeling you wake up with it when you have it? Are you happy? What's the emotion around it? And I just sort of jumped into that. I didn't even check to see if they were here. So.
Yeah. Pre, let us know that you're here. And I feel the same way, Gerald. I think you're 100% on. And if I could offer an alternative as well, you can meditate and connect to your higher self and raise your state of consciousness and ask this pet that you love so dearly that is on the other side to come and visit you in your meditation so that you're in a conscious state and more able to remember. And I only say this because it's really hard for me to remember my dreams. I remember, and I could work on it. I don't, but I could. But it's like that first 30 seconds to 2 or 3 minutes after I wake up. After that, they're gone, and I'm like, why can't I remember what happened?
Yeah.
Aww. Pre say she misses her so much, but sometimes I feel as though our connection is fading. Aww.
Well, and that's part of the grief process it changes the connection. You may not feel the connection as strongly. It's still there though, and you can access it. And who knows? Maybe you'll need to be finding another pet, some more pets to add. Maybe there can be some reincarnation there. So.
Yeah, I'm giggling. T. Lynn says not remembering dreams and exhausted when waking for her too. It's a lot for a lot of us, but try that meditation. But the connection is always there, and the reason why it's fading is because she wants you to move on. Is what I feel. She's always there, but it is some of the most deepest, heart-wrenching pains that I've ever felt, for sure.
Yes.
So I feel for you, Pri. All the best to you. So do you want to take another go, or do you want me to take my go?
Can you take a go? Because I'm writing something down.
Okay. Was it about Pri? Did you want to continue with her?
No, it was a note for something that I need to do.
Oh, sorry.
So thank you. I was just like going, okay, write that down, Gerald.
I didn't want to interrupt you if you were getting a hit.
Yeah. No.
So Melinda says, message from my father, Richard Rogers. Nickname was Buddy. And when I read this, Melinda, I read that I heard Buck Rogers. And I don't know if people, I know you said his nickname was Buddy and your last name is Rogers, but for some reason I just heard Buck Rogers. So I'm not sure if he liked that movie or if he was into that space thing or if he was sort of a science fiction nut or if he was cool and wore spacesuits or jumpsuits. I feel like around in the 70s and 80s, he may have been quite the stud, if you don't mind me saying. And he's making me say these things. These are not usually my terminology for somebody's father, but I feel as though he was very healthy. I do see him as being like physically fit and in his day. He's showing me like the 70s and the 80s. I do see him liking the beer, which is, I mean, it's and it's cold beer and it's the kind in a dark brown bottle and it's the kind in a squatty fat bottle. I don't know if it I don't know the names of beers, but I don't know if that means anything to you. I don't know if he worked at night. I see him or if he had like a second job that he worked at night. But he's just coming through with his personality. And how about you, Gerald?
The first thing that I was looking for, Buddy, or Richard Rogers, is this was a charming man, very, very charming, and not a sleazy person, but a charming man who was intelligent. He was smarter than he let on. And by gosh, you never caught him reading a book, but he did like to read a bit. He would do it, in the privacy of, of his car or something like that. He was always curious. And boy, and he knew a lot of people. I mean, he was, I would say he was popular. The most time I spent with him in my life was 4 days while he was dying in the hospital. My parents who were divorced when I was a baby. So,
do you know any of these facts about him, Melinda?
So,
would you be able to confirm any of these things that he's coming through with? Or he had a healthy self-image because he's coming
that's
through.
True. That's very true. That's very true.
I like this, and look at me in my, jumpsuit. And when I was in the 70s
Oh
and
my
80s,
God. Because I was like, when he's wearing a pantsuit and you're like going, and you're like jumpsuit. I'm like, going, yep, he was like one of those models that you see in the magazines. So, you know, and he was a man's man, but, you know, so, um,
hmm.
so let me build off of that, Melinda, is I would say then he wants you to continue to learn things and to get curious about something. If he's showing me doing some reading, everybody already did some because they could look at me or my brother and sister and tell we were his children because we looked like him. So then, Melinda, you're charming and very good looking then. So there you go. So, but yeah.
I feel as though during his life review, he was able to see how that affected you, that he was not in your life. Um, I do feel as though he was able to relive those milestone moments in your life and experience those, even though he wasn't there physically. And he does realize now that he did miss out on a beautiful relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He said that it wasn't fair to you two because he divorced your mother, he didn't divorce you, and it was not there was no excuse for him not to be in your life, and that he realizes now how much he missed out on such a beautiful two beautiful souls and that relationship that he could have had. But I feel as though he was very self-centered, if you don't mind me saying, and he did he know I was there when he died? I think yes, absolutely. Even if they're in like a comatose state, that his energy and his consciousness knew.
Yeah. I'm getting that feeling of is he did know you were with him, and as Jean was saying, he's now realizing the things that he missed out on, and he was sad about that. He was grateful that you put aside your emotions about the way that he behaved and spent the last 4 days with him. It yeah, that life review, as you said, Gene, feels it's like yes, there was he realized that that was a mistake. It was a missed opportunity. Yeah.
He's not missing anything now, though, Melinda. He is, and always will be your father. You will see him when your day comes from a long time from now. But when your day comes, you will reunite with your father and be able to reconcile anything that was left unsaid. But he is saying that you were very gracious to come to him and to be his daughter when he was never even able to be your father. But he's just saying that it was very gracious of you to sort of um, take the higher road and be there for him in his time of need, even though he wasn't there for you. He's saying that you honored him and that he didn't deserve this honor, but he's just so very grateful that you still held this piece of love. I do feel like he thought that you didn't, not you, but both of you wouldn't want to have anything to do with him because of the way he treated you. I do feel as though it did pass through his mind. I wonder what, I wonder if, and yeah, it was very sad there, Melinda. I'm so
Mm-hmm.
sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right, did I choose
But
this one? I think I did.
you did. Um, just
So we're doing mediumship today, everybody. And what is the time? We have time for one more.
yes.
Um, so if you want a message from your loved one, just let us know their name and the relation, and make sure we're going to call you out. Make sure that you're here. Um,
How about Kim B at 4:05?
sure.
Kimby, are you here? Message from my guides and loved ones, Aunt D, 2, and ex-husband Paul. Kimby
Here
is
she
here
is.
and crying.
Aww. So I'm feeling your aunt coming through first, Kim. And I do feel as though there is a recognition of your souls. I don't know if there was a special relationship between you and your aunt. You thought the world of her, that she could do no wrong. And I don't know if she was either affluent or had some different opportunities than the rest of the family, yet she was still very humble and generous and loving. And this was something that she may have even traveled and came and told you about her travels. She was very generous, and she had different opportunities. Now, I don't know if these were monetary, but I just feel as though she had a different lifestyle or a different life, and she would share them with you, and almost like opened your eyes and gave you a world that you hadn't, that wasn't offered to you in your nuclear family, or the remainder of your family sort of like grew up in the same area and worked the same jobs and did the same, what a traditional family would do. But I feel like this aunt was outside somehow, whether she married outside, or she traveled outside, or her spirit was sort of like different and unique than to the family. But she took a liking to you, and she took a consideration for you, and it spoke to you on a soul to soul level. Like she respected you and gave you the time and gave you her time. And this is something that you remember her by. How about you, Gerald?
I'm
She
Go ahead.
she was eccentric, she said.
She was eccentric. Well, I immediately when I popped this question up, I got a headache. And I'm wondering if this is the ex-husband Paul. I checked with my pendulum and I got a yes. So I don't know if Paul had issues with his head or his brain, but it was very, very clear there's something going on. And I'm also wondering if he, Kimby, did he smoke and drink? I've got that taste in my mouth. So I don't know if this is Kimby, if is that him? Because if it's not him, I'm going to ask this person to go away.
He was a
He was
smoker.
a smoker. Okay. Um,
And Aunt D was the devout Buddhist. Mhm.
okay. So he's sitting on a lounge chair, leaning back, and he was a very nice guy. But he got stagnant, and I think the message is that he regrets getting stagnant, and he regrets getting stagnant about your relationship. There's this he stopped showing up the way he could have, and he completely understands it, why there was the divorce. And I mean, yeah, he understands it. He didn't like it, but now he understands it. So I guess that's the thing, Kimby. He wants you he has a sense of recognition now of a broader understanding. He's like going, and I promise I'll quit smoking.
Oh.
So that's what I had. He did. That is so true. We had 3 sons together. They're doing well. I feel him around, especially when I visit them. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, but he's got that chuckle. He's just like, he promises he'll quit smoking. So, wow.
Lovely. And I feel like Aunt Dee was it's recognizing your soul and preparing your soul. I feel as though she's very happy and that you're going through this awakening and this awareness phase, because it's something that she would always would strive to. She always knew there was something more. And I think that she saw that you two had this open-mindedness that you both shared. But that's funny that you got 2 for 1. And typically I don't choose when you have 2 people because it confuses me. But I was so grateful to you, Gerald, that you picked up on her ex-husband and I was able to pick up on Aunt
Yeah.
Dee. And it often, not often, but sometimes it does, you know, it's not the gender, it's the psychic or the medium that they choose to come through. And maybe he would be embarrassed to say certain things through me, where through Gerald, he'd be like, I was a smoker,
Mm-hmm.
or I dropped the ball, or where he, and they still have this sensitivity about that. And I've noticed that when we do our readings, that certain loved ones will, I mean, we can both do both, but
Yes.
they'll say certain things through
Yeah.
one more than the other.
Yeah, there's I got that, and I, like I said, I was having the headache showed up, and I was like going, you were talking about Aunt Dee, and it's like, this isn't her. So it's like, it was very
That's why it was,
yeah,
ex-husband Paul. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
Kim B said, I have a strong maternal side. Was born in Saigon and grew up there until I was 7.
Wow.
Nice. Wow.
Good for you, Kim. And you have 3 sons. Beautiful. And did you meet Paul? Was that like through the military or something? Was Paul I don't know. There was something I think you say he was kind, but I think that he was also troubled somewhat. He had not emotional, but he was having some troubles, is what he's telling me. Um,
To which it was hard for him to talk about, which is why he checked out.
there you go.
So
See that understanding that I may not have had that perspective. No, I moved next to him. My father was military. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow.
military connection. Look at that. He was
Yeah,
not.
there was something that was troubling him. She said he was not communicative, but there was something that was troubling him, and I can't figure out what that is. Um, mm,
I could ask him.
mhm. Well, they are both around you, Kim, and what a beautiful, loving support system you have around you. And I think we're going to leave it there, Gerald. I think we
Mm-hmm.
are close to time. I just want to thank everybody for being here, holding the space for everybody that did have their questions answered, holding the space for us while we're experiencing our own mediumship challenges. And thank you,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, for allowing us to explore these different facets uh, of the practice, of the craft, of the of our abilities. And all the best to you. Oh, and Kim says he is buried in a military plot since my father chose to be cremated. My mother will be buried next to him. Oh,
Okay. Wow.
you're so kind to him, to your
Mm-hmm.
ex-husband, Paul. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's loving, very loving, Kim B. All right. Well, Gerald, where will you be next? Do you want to share a little bit about that, or about your private readings? What would you like to share with the audience today?
Feel free to contact me for private readings. My information is on my About page. I like doing private readings, and we can really get in depth and explore something easier and with much more interaction than a show. So that's a great thing to do. Subscribe to the channel. I put stuff up on my community tab so that you can know what's coming up. So.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's wonderful. And the same goes for me. And I just want to say, when I am at the psychic fairs, Gerald, I find that I do a lot of readings, one right after the other, with people sitting in front of me, and it's a little bit different, and it's quicker. The energy is there. There's no hesitation. And then when we come back here, I'm like, oh, this is so hard to do it on the chat, where
Yep.
we began here doing it through the chat, but this is the hardest thing to do, is from somebody's name who you're, like little cat Kitty's mom or somebody, no offense,
Mhm.
but, and then we have to pick up your energy, and then it stretches us, and it helps us to strengthen our skills.
Absolutely.
But when you're one-on-one in front of somebody, it's much more, there's a lot more to elaborate. There's a lot more room, a lot more freedom, and a lot more spontaneity, because you're right there saying yes, no, yes, no.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I too offer private readings on psychicgene.com. I do love my community tab. I'm always on it, and I'm shooting things out. If you have not yet subscribed to Sun Psychic Gene, I do know YouTube has sent me a notice that there's a certain percentage of people that watch, but they don't subscribe, and that's fine. I never like say please subscribe, please subscribe. But right now I am trying to get to a certain goal in a certain amount of time. I've been on for 3 years, I think, and I'm trying to get to that 2,000 mark. So if you're not subscribed and you don't mind hitting that bell and helping me out, I would just let you know I appreciate that little bit of a boost, and I appreciate that for everybody. And
Yes.
please do go over and check out Gerald's channel and do the same.
Yeah. Well, and if you think you're subscribed, verify it, because sometimes people they realize that their subscription has not stayed, and it's no explanation, but there you go. So
Very good. Well, thank you for taking time and being here with me and sharing your energy, Gerald. I love
thank
reading
you.
together with you. We will be back again, everybody. We love working together and exploring together. And we just thank each and every one of you for being here.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye now. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.